Hell yeah. It's alive. Still no weed, but that's okay. I would probably, well, that's hard to say. I was gonna say, I would buy alcohol maybe before weed, but like alcohol's way easier to access for me right now than weed is. And vape pens though are so expensive. One of these days though, I'm gonna buy another one. I don't know if I actually like feel better or worse from weed. I did have a hard time sleeping last night, but we have like I don't know, my mom has these sodas that aren't like weed, but I was like, it's better than fucking my sleep. Because I can be a wacky dreamer and weed helps with it a lot. But during the day, I mean, it's like a comfort to have that I don't have, but that's okay. I'm so comforted. All right. Continuing with verbal autobiography. There's like a bazillion questions on here. This day went by so fast, or I just moved so slow. I did take a huge test in the morning. Verbal autobiography, my last will and testament. It's okay, I stand behind it. I put it took me a long time though to like format it, everything. You know, I took a test on ChatGPT this morning. I took a test. I gave ChatGPT a test this morning. It's, you know, I'm not a bad person. I'm not. There's some stuff that's kind of bullshit in the world, and sometimes it's hard for me to take that stuff seriously anymore. After a life of taking fucking tests and having nothing to show for it, really not like gonna give a fuck about using ChatGPT to then take a test. I don't know if this is up too high. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see, but I have the thing up like higher than normal. All right, let's see. What's your favorite thing to do in your free time? Joke. I like to do comedy. It's my favorite thing to do in my free time is comedy. Absolutely. And then occasionally drugs. So the older I get, the more I'm like, I can go with them or I can go without them. I like them a lot, but like, you know, I'm aware, like, I assume I will get to use more again later in the future, but right now I don't really have a lot of money. Comedy, though, is kind of like, I would pay for comedy first. Comedies, I wouldn't even want to see. Yeah. The thing I love is obviously my favorite thing to do in my free time, and comedy is like a great, great love of mine as a means to create. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I would want to be able to teleport. I would fucking nail it with teleportation. I would get so much shit done. I'd be all over the place. I like, oh yeah. I didn't answer. I didn't really use my phone today except for to like listen to things, like as a conduit for playing shit. But I didn't really like look at the screen too much. Yeah, there you go. I can't believe people don't say teleportation. Like flying would lose its cool so fucking quick. I don't wear my hair down. I can't decide. I just think I'm just like hating my face. So there's really nothing I'm going to be able to do to save it. I'm just going to have to deal with it and put on my makeup. Alright. Weed would make me hate my face less. What's your favorite childhood memory? Ooh, that's a big fucking question. Like, I had a great childhood. I don't know. I'm Like, I don't know. That's really, like, my childhood in and of itself, pretty much before depression, was a good memory. Like, everything pre-9. Like, all of the year 8, like, 3rd grade was such a great year. Huh? Let me see. Maybe I should try and pick something. I remember being a kid and looking out at the ocean and knowing I would never get that day back. And that thinking it was a nice day. But I was like a little kid. Huh? Like getting Pokemon, the Pokemon Red and Blue was pretty awesome. I was like getting stuck even in Mount Moon for days. Good times. Had to get like my babysitter's son to help me out of it. I was in Mount Moon for like a week, I think, just on Pokemon. I don't know. Felt like a week when you were a kid. Maybe it was just like 7 hours. The time flies when you're not having fun. That's so sad. Kids are often not allowed to have fun. I mean, once you try, they slap you in school. And school's a real good way to put a lot of rules on fun. Like, people don't like to learn for a reason, and that's sad. I even still now, I'm like, I don't know if I really like to learn. I like to know, but I don't really know if I like to learn, but I'll lady learn, so I will learn. How do you stay positive during difficult times? Faith. Yeah. Faith that it gets better. I was very much just thwarted by difficult times up until very recently. Again, even like, because, you know, they have a whole thing, like, alright, yeah. Stay positive during difficult times. So, during difficult times, I likely do not feel positive. But I know that things go happy. So, I just hold fast to that. You know, existing is good. Very rarely ever easy. Often not comfortable. I would say not at all easy. It's actually quite hard. But it's good if you're good. It hasn't maybe shown out. There's maybe some things are a little bit bullshit right now, but they'll get better. So I just hold to that. I don't feel positive, but I'll hold to the truth that I know. What's the most challenging part about hosting a comedy show? Oh God, right now, money, and like there's some things that are just very hard that I just wish I could have someone film every Dress to Kill, and I wish I had someone that took care of the filming and the editing of Dress to Kill. If I like could have someone take care of filming and editing for Dress to Kill, it would make my life so much better. I mean, I guess I can't say that, but it would definitely make my producing with Dress to Kill something that like would be so, even just the filming. But like I don't have the money to hire people for that. My pursuits in trying to do it have just been continually thwarted. And I mean like a solid like homie I could trust for sure. Like Jesus Christ is taking no fucking cameras, even if you buy them. Apparently you have to have a SD card for them to even work, and they don't come with them, which is dumb. That's dumb. I spent my money on a camera and I don't have money for an SD card. Can't even use the camera. It's a fucking brick. I want to take it and throw it through someone's window because that's what it basically is. I just wish I had the window of the person who would sell a fucking camera without an SD card. How do you handle criticism of your comedy? I'm like, what if usually I always get like, talk slower. And I don't know how to do that at all. Like, we're just going to have to hope that I can pronounce fast better, because I'm not talking slower. My entire life I've talked fast. I do believe old dogs can, like, learn new tricks. Like, God has done a lot with old cunts in the past. It's already been seen. But I just don't know if I'm going to talk slower. I'll try, though. Because I do want to be understood. Lucky for those who can. I have good words. Good jokes. They're hella funny. I mean, I think they are. Some of the ones I'm doing tonight are a little girly. Maybe I have to make sure I balance that out. Not just... Because I'm working on some jokes right now about... They're kind of like female-y. Like they're like... pimples and wrinkles and all that. which I guess guys get too, but I don't. Yeah, hey, maybe they work for anyone. What's your favorite comedy movie? I really like the movie Funny People. I think Jaws and Funny People are probably two of my favorite movies. And the funny thing about Funny People is I'm a big Adam Sandler fan, but also The Great Gatsby, I'm a fan of that. And the Funny People is kind of like lightweight based on The Great Gatsby. But I loved that movie before ever doing stand-up comedy, or even again, like considering that as being something that would, like, you know, that was like, it just seemed so far off from like what my life was and would be, because I wasn't. Maybe if I had thought just over 8 years old what I maybe wanted to do, I would have gone there. But like around 9 with the depression, I was just like, I hate myself and I can't trust myself. So, and when the eating disorder kicked in, that was exhausting. So I was like, all right, kneecap right at a need. I had no idea. Otherwise, I probably would have gone to comedy sooner. But I think things are good where they're at and in their time. Let's see. If you could have dinner with any comedian, living or dead, who would it be? Maybe Mitch Hedberg, because I think he would go over the best at my family's house, which is where we'd have dinner. His wife's still alive. I think she did comedy too. She was like his opener. Like technically, I could have dinner with her still. Like in life. But if they ever say living or dead, I'm like, always go with dead. How do you handle nerves before going on stage? I mean, honestly, like, to be honest, like, if I could have dinner with any comedian, it would just be like my friends. I just like have dinner with my friends. That'd be sick. Me and Carl have had a few good dinners. But also I love to meet new people. Because then they become friends. All my friends used to just be new people. How do you handle nerves before going on stage? Well, there is, again, I think I already basically answered something very similar to this. Like, there isn't a nervousness in comedy for me because I do care, but like, also, it's kind of like an exhilarating. It's exhilarating too. So it's like, alcohol does help me. I'm not saying that's like a hard rule of thumb for every person, but it definitely does help me to have like a drink before, for sure. I would say weed helps, but like I feel like my last few sets have been good and they've been on my not weed days. And I've been like, maybe, but I did have a drink. What's your favorite city to perform in besides Sacramento? Chico. Chico's been dope to me. Reno. So I would have gone Reno, but Chico gave me like my first 30 minutes. So like, that's sick. Okay, like running around, always trying to sneak in 5s and 7s and 10s and sometimes a 15 if you're lucky. It was super fucking dope of Chico to give me a 30. How do you incorporate your love of fashion into your comedy routines? Oh my gosh. I have a whole bunch of like, I'm actually working right now. I'm going through all my stuff and compiling all my all my jokes about just clothes in general. Because I am working into like making a 5-minute bit almost about just fashion and female fashion. So because it's a part of my life, it very much just pops up in my comedy. One of the jokes that I've been working on is like, which I think is one that it's not landing, I guess, how, but it's in the works very much about, so I, like, one thing I do spend a lot of money on is good moisturizer. I drop a lot on moisturizer, and that's because I've worn enough inexpensive fabrics to know that because I'm cheap, I'll probably wrinkle easy. I don't know if people are just not getting that or what, but I think it's funny. I would laugh at it. Ha ha. I'm not now because I've said it too many times myself, but yeah. Like ChatGPT knew though what my favorite one was. How do you incorporate your love? Yep, duh. Can you share a joke that always gets a laugh from the audience? Oh my God, you come out to my shows. You'll see them in action, getting laughs. But yeah, let's see. Can you share a joke that always gets a laugh? Like, I definitely usually do pretty good with my beginning joke, my opener, so I feel really blessed for that, 'cause it's like my introduction. Drinking every day, that one gets, like, laughs. One that I think gets a lot of laughs, and was one of my first, like, almost guaranteed laughers, is I've taken a lot of balls to the face. That alone would get a laugh, but then, like, the joke gets better. I even think my favorite change to the joke is I like go back to Dorothy Parker, and I'm like, because like I've taken a lot of balls to my face. I have to, and if I don't wear glasses, because I'll be like, it's because I wear glasses. If I don't, I have to. My thing is like, oh, I'm free eyeballing. However, I like, I might do. I'm gonna do eyeshadow, so I'm gonna go to do that in a moment. But like that poet Dorothy Parker, I used to say that poet Dorothy Parker, like, she's got me all wrong, she's got all wrong, and I like that poet Dorothy Parker's got me fucked up. I just think that wording is so funny. That one I like. My spirit animal one tends to do pretty good. I like a lot of the short ones do, and a lot of the longer jokes, it's like there's lines in the joke that will always get laughs. If maybe not the entire joke. I've been wondering why though. One about why people don't laugh more at Top Ramen being included with every pantry, because it like so fucking is. You don't ever need to have ever bought it. All right, I might be back. Surprise! I'm back. The craziest time to be. Like shifting of people in the house. Dogs always let everyone know when that happens. But I will probably jump right in. I said maybe. Last time I was like, all right, I'll be back when I'm done doing my eyeshadow. And when I was done doing my eyeshadow, I didn't want to come back. I was like, I don't want to go back on live. But I'm glad I did. I'm sure whatever questions I answered were worthwhile somewhere for some reason. All right. Let's see. What's your favorite type of audience to perform for? Drunk? Hell yeah. Not super duper stoned. Mushrooms, if the mushrooms are just then kicking in. And then I know they're not actually laughing at me. They're just laughing at, like, the absurdity of everything. Mushrooms, I was like, wow, everything's so fucking ridiculous. Everything is so fucking ridiculous. It's good sense of humor. Like, everyone that comes out to comedy has a sense of humor, but like people who have a similar maybe sense of humor to me, that'd be dope. How do you come up with titles for your comedy shows? They just pop into my head. Dressed to Kill just, it eventually came to me. Oh, well, I like the Wombats. The Wombats have a song called Dressed to Kill, so it was going to come to me eventually. I listened to the Wombats enough. But then, like, I don't know. It just kind of popped in my head. Like, chill to this and this should all be therapy, because you will be able to chill to my first special, and the second should have all been therapy. So should have the first. You could chill to the second, too. I forget the third. I had a different one that I'll guess be the third, and I remember what my third. I remember the other thing I had come up for. How do I remember the titles? Can you share a behind the scenes moment from Dress to Kill? My July show last year, the Dress Kills had a different format now, but I used to do it where during voting we would have someone do a final set. And this was something I realized in the first ever Dress to Kill that was a good idea. And luckily, Logan Farr was there to do it. After that, I would always have like newer comics do it. The voting set, which I no longer do because I switched up the format for Dress to Kill. But when I had the voting set in July, one of the comics who did it passed away this last November. And I feel really blessed that I got to have him do that spot in July. Because, you know, yeah, I feel better about that. I mean, I don't feel better about that, but like I'm, because it would have been one of those things where I'd be like, shit, I never even got to have him on Dress to Kill. Passed away though, not gone. What's your favorite joke format, one-liner, story, or observational humor? So my personal favorite is like a personal story that ends in a wordplay. For me writing. For me listening to, pretty much all of it. I do love a good story. Story comedy is like a special kind of art too, because you're not going to have necessarily consistent laughs throughout. It's going to be like, we have a storytelling class that you can do to get better at it. I noticed that you don't see too many like Stephen Wright-esque or like Mitch Hedberg-esque one-liners regularly. I don't know. I haven't even seen that many comedians that are more modern and stuff, so I'm not even sure. It's funny, I didn't really know any comedians. So all the first ones I met were like people that I was meeting in person. I kind of almost would rather that. I almost don't like that, having learned like about status and stuff, because then I'm like, oh, that'll just make me nervous. Makes me nervous around people that I wouldn't have been before when I just didn't know. That's on me though for being nervous. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Oh, hell yeah, I do. I'm doing a guest set at Corner House tonight, so if you're in the Tahoe Park area, check it out. How do you handle awkward moments on stage? Oh shit, it would depend on the moment. I just try to handle it. The good thing about awkward is usually funny, so like I just stay comfortable. Helps if I could think off the cuff, and sometimes I can. I guess it would depend on the awkward one. Awkward's better than a scary moment on stage. One time there was a guy in the back of I was like in Grass Valley. I didn't really have to deal with it, but like this guy was like being very aggressive. Like he's wanting to beat up all the comics, and I had noticed he hadn't really noticed me, but I was getting like ready to go up on stage, and I was like, damn it, once I go up on stage, he will have like clocked me, basically. Not like actually hit me, but like made note of me in this room. He has not, this very aggressive man that we cannot get out of this room has not, and we were continuing with the comedy show where, while like also some of the comics and staff were trying to deal with the guy, but like trying to be friendly too, so, but then he was like not being receptive to friendly, like he was like, overstepping his boundaries and stuff with friendliness. But I was like, and how I handled that, I just got up on stage and did my jokes. What's your favorite piece of clothing in your wardrobe? I really don't have one. I mean, I do think like my like rainbow wedding skirt thing is pretty sick. Although, I liked my White Trash Lotus outfit. I'm really excited to wear my Stay Gold outfit. It's really hard to say a favorite. I feel like things that I tend to feel comfortable in, but I have them in a wide variety of colors. I have a hell of a lot of cool shirts. I love cool t-shirts. How do you handle wardrobe malfunctions during your shows? Oh my gosh. Well, that's a great question because Dress to Kill is always just a one wardrobe malfunction away from being straight up Super Bowl. And, you know, handle it gracefully and humorously. What's the most unexpected place you found inspiration for a joke? Okay, I found inspiration for, okay, this is a joke I don't do, and it never gets laughs, except for on 9/11. I got inspiration from dead birds I kept noticing around my work building. I kept noticing an unusual amount of dead birds around, like, the tall buildings by the Capitol where I was working. Like, birds of near every type, too. Ew. What's your dream collaboration in the fashion industry? What do they mean by that? Like a place that does fashion that I would collaborate with? Wow. You know, I'm not on, even though, like, I have my clothing jokes about inexpensive fabric. Oh shit. Shein, I guess? I don't know. Target. There are, like, some designers I'm aware of, but certain things I'm okay with looking at when I absolutely can't afford them, but there's other things where it's like, why look at them if I can't afford them? Alright. That'd be sick, though, if anyone ever wanted to collab. Any fashion industry thing wanted to collab Dress to Kill, we'd make you the theme. I should go around and ask people shit like that. So I should be doing with my time. She just went by so slow. I mean, she went by so fast. I went by so slow. Can you describe your dream comedy tour? That's hard to say. Okay. I know that I want to do jokes in all 50 states, but I think it would be really, really sick to take Dress to Kill out to the high seas and do like a Dress to Kill cruise. Dress to Kill gets naughty, Cole. That would be sick. Hella piratey. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna Resurrected on YouTube eventually, but for now, I'm probably gonna go walk to the liquor store and to the Slurpee place. Yeah. Classy stuff.